because when it came ashore, west-northwest at 16, heading right into the Turks and Caicos, we're very fearful for what is going to happen in that part just below those islands just below the Bahamas here very shortly. Now here's the new cone, and when you look at the wide view, it doesn't look that much different. Yesterday, all of Florida was in the cone. Today, all of Florida is in the cone. It has actually shifted a little bit to the west. Now, we don't have the discussion from the Hurricane Center yet. No doubt they're just cranking there as fast as they can, but I know how they work, and when the models shift west, they don't shift as far all of a sudden because they want to see if they're going to shift back. But I want to go over the models because I know everybody looks at these things, and it's really important to understand what we're seeing. So here's the deal. Here are the US GFS model and the European model, of course. Remember that the European model is the most accurate, has been for this storm by a significant amount. But that doesn't mean the GFS model doesn't sometimes get it right. So here we go through time now. Here we are midnight, Saturday night, and you see that there's a split now. Yesterday, they were almost right on top of each other. But what's happened is the GFS is a little farther to the west, and the European is farther to the west. So as a result of that, the Hurricane Center has shifted that cone a little bit more to the west. And so if the European turns out to be right, this puts a lot more pressure now on the west coast of Florida, but the pressure should have always been there because they've always been in the cone. There's the European model. And if that's where the center of this hurricane goes, that wind is going to come in like this, and this is going to be a tremendous amount of storm surge on the southwest coast. It doesn't completely get rid of storm surge, doesn't let Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, and the East Coast off the hook, but the core of the hurricane is right there, and if the European is right, that misses metropolitan southeast Florida. If the GFS is right, it's obviously much closer. If it goes in between, obviously that's bad for the East Coast. The bottom line is we don't know. All of Florida is on alert from this. And the European goes right up the state, kind of like Hurricane Donna did. The GFS goes offshore and really threatens the Carolinas. So when you see these models, you only see one on there. That's the UK Met model that goes west. Now the European has joined it. Will the other ones continue to shift west, or will they all shift back to the east? We don't know. All of Florida